Have you ever pondered why some countries appear on old maps, but not on the new ones? Welcome to the Curious Culture Club, where we delve into curious tales from history. We often think of nations as permanent fixtures on the world map. Yet, history tells a different story. Countries can, and do, disappear. They may dissolve, split, merge, or even get swallowed by more powerful neighbors. The reasons behind these changes are myriad, from political shifts and revolutions to wars and economic turmoil. In recent memory, we've seen the likes of Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and the Soviet Union vanish from the world stage. These nations once held power, influence, and culture that shaped our world in many ways. Yet they are no longer present on our maps. Each disappearance is a complex tale of geopolitical maneuvering, cultural shifts, and sometimes human tragedy. These are stories of change, resilience, and the impermanence of nations. Let's journey back in time to chronicle the tales of countries that vanished from the map. Our first stop is Czechoslovakia, a country that ceased to exist in 1993. Born out of the ashes of World War I, Czechoslovakia emerged as a beacon of democracy in Central Europe. But its existence was marred by political turbulence and external pressures, from the Munich Agreement to the Iron Curtain's shadow. Fast forward to the Velvet Revolution of 1989, a peaceful protest that ended communist rule. It set the stage for an unprecedented event in 1993, known as the Velvet Divorce. This peaceful split saw Czechoslovakia dissolve into two independent nations, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. The reasons behind this split were manifold, ranging from economic disparities to cultural differences. While the Czechs were industrialized and wealthier, Slovaks had traditionally been agrarian and less affluent. Also, the two groups had distinct languages and histories, which fueled desires for separate nationhood. And so, Czechoslovakia faded from the atlas, leaving two new nations in its wake. Next, we visit the Balkans, home to the former Yugoslavia. A product of victorious powers diplomacy after World War I, Yugoslavia was a federation of 6 republics, brought together under the banner of unity and brotherhood. However, beneath the surface, ethnic tensions simmered. The centralization of power, economic disparities, and conflicting national aspirations led to growing discontent. The death of longtime leader Josip Broz Tito in 1980 set the stage for a turbulent decade. The 90s brought about a brutal civil war, fueled by nationalism and ethnic strife. This conflict led to the fragmentation of Yugoslavia into 7 independent nations: Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, Macedonia, and Kosovo. Each new state carried the scars of conflict, their identities shaped by a shared yet divisive history. The world watched as a single nation fractured, its parts striving for their own paths in the post-Yugoslav era. The dissolution of Yugoslavia altered the geopolitical landscape of the Balkans forever. Finally, we turn to the colossal Soviet Union, which dissolved in 1991. Rising from the ashes of the Russian Empire following the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, the Soviet Union grew into a superpower, its influence spanning vast swathes of the globe. But beneath the surface, a complex web of political, economic, and social challenges were brewing. The centralized economy and strict government control stifled innovation and economic growth. Political oppression and human rights abuses led to widespread discontent. Moreover, the nationalistic aspirations of various Soviet republics were suppressed, leading to internal tensions. In the late 1980s, under the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev, attempts were made to reform the system through policies of glasnost and perestroika, openness and restructuring. But it was too little, too late. The Soviet Union couldn't hold its pieces together. In December 1991, it formally dissolved, giving birth to 15 independent countries. With the fall of the Soviet Union, the world map underwent a significant transformation. As we've journeyed through time, we've seen the impermanent nature of geopolitical boundaries. Nations, as it turns out, are not as steadfast as we often perceive. Political, economic, and social shifts continuously mold the world map, revealing the transience of countries. Take, for instance, the narratives of Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and the Soviet Union. Each of these nations has experienced a metamorphosis, vanishing from the map due to varied factors. These transformations are not isolated events, but rather, they're part of a larger global narrative, impacting not only the regions involved, but also the dynamics of international politics. The disappearance of these countries has had a ripple effect, influencing their neighbors and reshaping alliances, conflicts, and international relations. Each instance is a testament to the ever-changing nature of our world, a reminder that the only real constant is change itself. As the sands of time shift, so too do the borders on our maps. Until next time, keep exploring with the Curious Culture Club.